like people that you don't even know yet might actually become like one of your greatest health transformations or partners. Like that's what we're looking at here, leveling up to ways that you never thought possible. And no, this is my 10th new year. So I get really excited about what the possibilities are this time. Like Lynette, I see you on my screen now. You weren't even a coach this time last year. How cool is that? Yeah. So anyways, this is a bonus training and you guys all popped in. Wow, 100 people popped in to get organized at the start of this year. So as we hop in here, drop in the chat, where are you guys tuning in from? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your level of excitement about getting after it and getting organized today? Laura, do you like to get organized? I think you do. Are you probably already super organized? You know you're not. You're like me. You're like
always room for improvement.
Always room for improvement. All right, 10, 10, 10. All right, love it. Yeah, I hope you guys had a great holiday season. I've loved just the consistency you guys had. I can tell you guys it's going to be an easy, fun year ahead. And the month of January, if you've been doing the work, honestly, it's like anything's possible. It's the easiest month of the year if you've been consistent. It's the time to refresh. It's like new beginnings times 100. So today what we're going to do is going to be a little bit different. This is a bonus training. So some people are on. We'll have the recording for them later. Some people are still traveling. Some people are still trying to figure out how to manage their kids that are normally in school or heaven forbid sick, like a few people I've seen. So we're still traveling wherever they're at. But today we're going to get organized to take on this new year, because right now is the time where most people have already decided what they're going to do in this new year. And it's a time for us to refresh, a time for us to level up. It's a time to create a new vision, because I don't know about you guys, I'm constantly blown away by what that next level of possibilities are for our life and for those around us, the amount of people we're able to impact. So it's also time to dream bigger. So, actually, before we do this, I always like to fill our cups. I'll give you guys a little bit of a time to do this, but go ahead and pop off mute. You can share anything, like anything you conquered in your health this year, anything that's been good recently, or anything that you, looking back from this last few years, blown away by. I mean, we all have abundant victories. So, and this is things that we're going to do for people this year. So if anyone wants to share a win, big or small, why don't we pop off mute and get some of those going here to celebrate?
I have a quick one.
Yeah, go for it.
I am going from full-time nursing 2 years ago to supplemental. So basically 1 time a week. I already gave my notice.
Debbie, for real?
For real.
Oh my gosh. Congrats, Debbie. That's amazing. How's it feel?
It's wonderful to be able to now have even more time to help other people. That's what I love.
All right, well, get ready, Debbie. You're going to be organized. You're going to have more time. I'm going to watch out for you this year. That's a great one. That's awesome. Who else has a win that they want to celebrate? I'm just going to drink my coffee. You guys all have wins. You guys better pop off mute. I know you have them. Like, I've been celebrating with you all week long. April, you better share yours if you don't, because you were sharing yours last night.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
which one? I have so many.
You go for it, and then I didn't see Susan. You can be next. Yeah, go ahead, April.
Well, I can't. Which one? I mean, seriously, I have a lot of wins.
Yeah, share any one of them. That's what we're going to give away. Let's start to get recognizing the ones that we're going to give away this year. So anyone you want.
So one of the things I love, and it goes to like what we're going to be talking about today, getting organized. I was really resistant of structure when I first started, and I looked at the map as a to-do thing that I had to do. And the more I've, gone through this journey, and I realized that the map is, oh my gosh, being able to look back and see how far I've come. And if I didn't have those maps, I really wouldn't have a clue. So just honestly counting my blessings for what this has done, not only for me, but for all the people that I've helped. But honestly, having that map really helped solidify it and show me exactly how far I've come. So,
that's so cool. Yeah, that's a tip. If you guys are on the newer site, save all your maps this year. It's really cool to look back, like month after month, the massive changes that happen in the lives around you and how far you move. That's a great win, April. I love that. Susan, you were trying to talk. You go for it next.
Sure. Good morning. For me, just all of this is a win. I started program on June 11th, and on my own weight loss, met my goal in November, 40 pounds lost, and started coaching I think with one client in August and then picked up in September and hit executive director in November. And so going through this whole process, just finding this program to me is the big win of this year. I'm very excited about today because the system organization is definitely something I need. Getting through the holidays was a first for me, doing program myself, but also coaching others. So I'm just excited for what the year has ahead.
I love
and
that.
just for the opportunity.
That's what we're going to give a lot of people this year. I love that one. Anyone else have one last one? I didn't want to skip anyone that was trying to chime in, or we can hop into today. Any other wins?
I've got one for you, Brad.
Go for it, Jim. How's it doing, man?
I'm pretty good. So I took a few months off, did some traveling this fall, and really let business slide. And getting back into it, we had this December dash going on, and I told my mentors, I said, you know what? I've been so bad. I haven't done anything. I haven't followed up. I haven't been consistent. I'll be happy if we can even sign up one client. And they said, oh, you can do more than that. I said, you know what? There's no way. I give up. I'm just going to try to get through the month. Hope for January is a better thing. So, and we've got some more assessments to do yet this month, but we already signed up 10 new clients this month. So consistency. I've heard it before, I think, Brad.
I think just a little bit. Yes, I love that, Jim. And in the month of December, you guys, oh, this is so awesome. That really leads us in today. I think we'll end on that one. If you have other wins, feel free to put them in the chat here. But Jim, I love that because that's what we're going to get organized to do today. There is a plethora of people to help. And if you guys aren't right now, actually what I would encourage you guys to do is speaker view, because we're going to have some people come on and share some tangible things to do. We're going to have some workshop time. And we're going to get organized. Does everyone have, so we dive in today, does everyone have the stuff printed off? Do you have the new coach Explore form? Do you guys have fresh health assessments printed out? Let me see them here on the chat. I can see April, Lori, Susan, Debbie. You guys got them all? All right, cool. Maps, new ones, so you don't have to grab them each month. And fresh 100s connections list. We're going to show you what to do with them. You might have a current one. That's fantastic. We're going to give you some clear steps on what to utilize this today to make massive conversations with people and open up the doors for people that are looking for you this time of year. I think the national stat is about 56% of people will start a diet in the new year, and we don't want them starting a diet. We want them to start a lifestyle change. We want them to get connected to community. We want them to get connected with the components that work. We want to open up opportunities for, coaching and bringing this into their life. Guys, I wanted to start off this day with sharing wins because I could be here for an hour telling you how much this has blessed my life. I mean, health is easy. I lost 30 pounds and I would be like, I don't know if you guys know this, but my whole family's lost over 2,000 pounds. I could have been very, very unhealthy by my age of 30, but I'm not. I'm a healthy dad that lives a life like where I have health. I take care of myself. I have friends. I have great people around me like you guys. I mean, the list could go on. I could be here all day, but I wanted to remember all those wins because that's the gift that we're going to give people. And as we kind of get into conversation, I want you guys to be finally in tune to the matches for what it is we have. So filling up your tool belt with knowing that we have people that are looking for community. We have people that are looking honestly for hope. We have some people that are just looking for convenience. We have some people that are looking for friendship. They're looking for personal growth. They're looking for, they're looking for so many things that we can't, I could go on for days, but let's really set up our minds because this is a time of year where most people are open for new possibilities. And most of you have been extremely consistent. So this is going to be easy and you can run the distance on whatever you want to do. So today we're going to start with getting organized. And I actually am going to have Danae Marks come off here and she's going to run us through just like what it looks like to set up a binder. And then we're going to have some time to get organized. And I just want to kind of go over some things of why I chose Danae, because I could have chose a ton of you. You guys are all pros at doing this. We all have to get organized this time of year. Like Laura's like, we can all get better. Like mine, this is probably more for me than it is for all of you, just so you guys know. But Danae, this was on this call that we did this time last year. We did a bonus call for people that were like, we're gonna have a training, by the way, on the 19th of this month for like Go-In Executive Director for all the new coaches that sponsor and all the people that are still waking up this time of year. But we know there was, there's 151 of you guys right now on fire, ready to grow your business, ready to make change that have been consistent. We want to show you guys what it looks like to make massive conversations and basically to fill your funnel starting the new year. And I chose Danae for this because she was on this training that we did the same exact one last year. I think, Danae, you were at 7,000 frontline volume. You maybe had one or two coaches. None of them were a senior coach. Here, hold on. I'll give you the full introduction. She does the systems really well. Ashley did the training last year, and like she does exactly how it's laid out. She's extremely organized. Danae, you have 3 kids and you don't have any professional help. Now today, a year later, you have grown your business 900%. You went from executive director to integrated national director. You do this, like I was saying, without any professional help. You don't have much of a weight loss story either. Like you don't have a massive weight loss visual story that's helpful. So basically you're organized, you effectively work your business, and you're really good at connecting with people. So I want to turn it over to you to help us get organized this year and kind of let us into your binder, because I kind of looked at your binder and I was like, how well do you do? And you do it so spot on. It's no wonder you're able to help so many people. You're a big thinker now. You run a substantial big thinkers volume, and you're always bringing on new people. So help us get organized today. You can guide us through it. You can take it away.
Well, thank you, Brad. And it really was this call last year where you asked 5 questions. And those 5 questions helped me to first get my mind and my heart ready for the system. And so it was a ripple effect. So I'd love to start with that. I have the same paper that I filled out on this same call last year, and I've had this in the back of my binder. If you open your binder, there's a clip on the back of it. This has been in the back of my binder as a reminder all year long of where I wanted to end at the end of December. And so I'm going to share first those 5 questions with you. Brad, I think I sent you over a graphic. Would you mind sharing that as I just read over this?
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick.
Perfect. Grab a piece of paper, grab something on your desk, and then leave blank in between these questions. So the first one was, where was I at in coaching this time last year? So maybe you weren't even a coach. Maybe you had no idea what this amazing transformation was. And so then number 2, what has improved over this last year for you of 2018? What's improved? What do you want to create? What's something that you want to see happen, to come to fruition by the end of 2019? And why do you want it? What's the heart behind it? We know how important it is in our why and our own personal health journey, but even more so in our coaching. What does that look like for you? For me last year, it was to relieve the financial stress off of my husband. He's an amazing, amazing pastor and an amazing leader in our family. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to relieve that stress. And you guys, I can tell you this year, I got to hear him tell me that a few months ago. And so those things, to watch, to write it down, to watch it happen, to hear those words that you are longing to hear, it will happen. And so then, what are you going to start doing? What are you going to start to create this year? What is that going to look like? Is that something where you're going to be consistent in the action? You're going to put into place systems. You're going to really, really dial in whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's your own personal health journey. Maybe you're going to start working out this year. You haven't taken your health to that next level. You're going to jump back in with your own personal health coach. So what is that going to look like? And what are you going to stop doing? I love that Brad this last week posted that book about like necessary endings. Some things in our life we need to let go of. My husband says there are friends for a season, a reason, and a lifetime. And I think that there's clients for a season, a reason, and a lifetime. And there's people in our lives. There's things that we've been doing, habits that we've had that we need to let go of. So what is something that you're going to stop doing this year? And then what are you going to continue doing? What's a great practice that you've learned that you want to carry over into this new year? Maybe you've got a renewal of your mind, and so you're going to have that and you're going to hold tight to that this year. Maybe it's like Brad, he's been reading, but he's going to take it up to the next level. What is that for you? So just get your heart and your head in the right headspace to be able to reach the goals. And for me, when I wrote down these goals last year, it really was looking at what Ashley shared and being dialed in the system. Because that's all I could do. I have 3 busy, healthy, active kids. We're pastors at a church, so we're super busy in that arena as well, loving on people. And I wanted to live a life of intention, and that means I needed to be really dialed in. And so I was so thankful that Brad and Ashley shared on this training, and then even Lindsay shared about her binder and her organization this last year and one of our copying consistencies. And so just coming in with that mind of wanting to learn. So with that, Now that you have those, we're going to give you a few minutes to fill those questions in. We're going to have a workshop time, but I keep them in the back of my binder. So maybe bring your spouse into it too. I love when couples do this together, and so that it's not just my business. I am the primary health coach in our business, but my husband, we talk about these goals together. So bring your spouse into this too, and your family. I bring my kids into these goals now, and this is something we talk about as a family of what do we want to do, how do you want to grow, and what is this going to look like for all of us? Because when mama's in here in this office and I'm away from them, they know what we're doing and they know the lives we're changing. So bring your families too into these goals. So with that, Brad, would you stop sharing that slide? And if you missed it, we can put that back up there for you guys. But I wanted to show you two of my binders. So this is my amazing Optavia binder. This is the one that I want all y'all to grab right now. We're going to go through this. And then I do have a second binder, which I'm going to share what goes in this golden guide. Of course, it has to have a picture from one of my kiddos on the front of it. Brad's got his up there. Let me see your binders. Who has their binders in front of them? Nice. Susan, I see it. Jim's furiously writing over there. I love it. So with this binder, what I love that was key for me last year that Ashley shared is she took those amazing folders. This golden one is the first one. And she and Brad cut them in half. So take those things out, grab a pair of scissors during our workshop time and slice those puppies up the spine, because then it allows you to Brad's got a knife, I think. He's gonna just really slice and dice. And then it allows you to actually put things into the binder. Most things in my binder are written on because I have a 3.5-year-old. So first thing first, and I love to always be learning. So Brad taught me this just recently, which was a great tool for me, is take what it is that is your newest client before they have even gotten their fuelings and their kit, their first kit. They are first and foremost on the top of your binder. So this is my brand new girlfriend client. So excited for her journey. Her stuff arrives on Monday. I've been tracking the numbers, but it's right here on the top so that I remember that Jessie's stuff is showing up on Monday. She's first and foremost in my mind. And then as you flip this over, I have blank health assessments. We are ready for lots and lots of health assessments this month. So double-sided health assessments, and then moving right along, new coach checklist, because we always want to be thinking, but they're backwards. The Coach Explorer. So the Coach Explorer is right here, all 3-hole punch, so that all I have to do is toss them into the next section of my binder. So then we have our 100s lists. Tons and tons and tons of these. Every new post that we put up, anybody that we feel really led to. I've jumped up in the middle of the night and felt like someone's just heavy on my heart that I don't want to forget about, and I have jumped up and written their name down. So I always have this here and first on our list. So these are some blank ones getting ready for this month. And then right behind that is my maps. So getting ready for this month so that as people even are saying, well, contact me in January, contact me at the 15th, I'm still in conversation, I'm still messaging them, but I go ahead and I add them to this next map so that I don't forget when it comes time that I wanted to contact them on the 15th. And so making sure that I have those ready for the next month. So then as we move past that, I have a senior coach celebration because I'm always getting ready to celebrate somebody who's next and who's changing lives. So that document is right here as a health coach that I have that here. And then the layout of how to share an optimal health program. I always want to be listening and being, consciously checking my systems and making sure. So I keep this here, even this far into my coaching journey, that I am able to really go back and recognize, okay, is there an area that I'm forgetting? Is there something that I'm missing within my own personal health assessments? And then program considerations. This is here in a laminated sleeve so that I can always be aware of what it is. And remember, just because we've been coaching for a while doesn't mean that we have it all dialed in. We always want to be ready and learning. So I have that next in my binder. Oh, and I have sticky notes all over the place. Anybody else use sticky notes all the time? I use them on these coffee and consistencies and all of these trainings that Brad does. And I have sticky notes all over my desk in front of me as reminders. And then another health assessment guideline, if they say not yet, how to best, reach out to them, using the boxes on the bottom of that health assessment for those 4 different times. I love it. Susie, you have sticky notes all over your desk too. That's awesome. So then we get to the beautiful golden folder number 1. So again, you're going to cut those down the spine. And then within this, these are our candidate follow-ups. I put my latest 100s list that I was just working on because I want to make sure I'm following up with them. And you can tell my binder's open because my kids draw all over my papers all the time. So these are people we're still following up with that are from a recent post that is here. So we're going to get past that. There's a lot of those. So then these are my most recent health assessments that I am still following up with. I'm still in active conversation. Maybe they're the ones that are in that diet mentality and they're like, well, contact me after the new year. I am still believing that they are going to have a health transformation before the end of December. I'm not giving up, but they are still here. And you may go through seasons where you need to take some of these out after a couple of months of reaching out and they're just saying, not yet. It's never a no, it's just a not yet. And I'm going to show you where we put those not yets. So these are my most recents. And then we get to green. Green, these are your brand new active clients. These are the ones that are within their first 2 weeks of being on program and that you're still helping. Oh, yes. I'll show you. So then these are my new clients. These are within the first few weeks of their journey. So once they've integrated, they've had their client integration calls. So you've gotten on with them, you check the systems, you're making sure that you've loved on them. Maybe you've kind of dripped coaching a little bit on them because they are really like, you see huge potential in them. You've gotten to have what I call an I see in you moment. I see in you greatness. Man, you already sound like a health coach. So you've connected with them. And then once they have updated their order, you see that they've placed a successful order, they're integrated into your community, they're active on your social media pages, you see that they are living out their health journey well, then you move them to the burgundy folder. So this burgundy folder are all of your current active clients, and you're going to have times we're going to have to go through here. And sadly, there may be people who have chosen to take their foot off the gas pedal just for a moment, but don't ever get rid of those health assessments. Don't ever let go of them. I just had someone this last month who, a few months ago, she said, do I have to break up with you? I think I'm going to try something different. And I said, no, we never break up. You don't ever get to get rid of me. And I took her health assessment and I had just moved it to my other binder. That's my I'm not going to forget you binder. She texted me 2 days ago and said, I'm coming back. And so that's the beauty of it. You don't ever want to let go of that because they do come back. So I've still been in relationship. I still go to this other binder that I'm going to show you in just a moment. So these are all my current active, amazing clients that are in their health journey. And then back here, this is that clip I was telling you about. This is where those questions go for me. This is where they sit. This is a place that is sacred space to me so that I can continue to know that at the end of 2019 this year, this is where I'm going to land. But it only happens because all of this happens. Because all of this system is in place that these goals are going to come to fruition. So that's my Optavia binder. And again, you know, this is something I have to keep working on. I am not perfect at it by any means. When I met with Brad, there were things that I still needed to get better at. And so always be willing to reach out to your support team and say, can you just give me a systems check? So that other binder that I was alluding to, this is my follow-up Friday binder. This is my binder that when I have my sacred time on Friday that I pull back out. I have my old maps in here because I don't ever get rid of them. They're so much fun to look back at. And I have two sections. This front section with the alphabetical tabs, these are my not yets. These are the health assessments that I've done, and they're alphabetized by last name of people who have just said not yet, not yet. There, I go through them. I continue to follow up with them, and then all my extra 100s lists that have been sitting on my desk this month because I've been really diligent about reaching out to every single one of them. They no longer fit in the front of this binder, so they need their own binder now. But they were usually in the front of this follow-up Friday binder. So these are my clients that have said not yet. And these are my clients who have taken their foot off the gas pedal. So they're also alphabetized by last name. And so that friend of mine that I had put in here, I got to take her out last night and put her back in to the beginning of my binder because I'm not going to forget her because she's decided she's going to put her foot back on the gas pedal. There's no wagon. We don't take our foot off the gas pedal in this journey. So I wanted to give you a few moments to grab, maybe you don't have a second binder yet, but at least pull out a file folder or just start a pile on your floor. All of us as health coaches, we have piles all over our floors right now. So let's get a little bit organized. We're going to set up 10 minutes And Brad has a screen that he's going to share. And so grab your binder, grab a pair of scissors, cut those files apart, and start organizing those health assessments that you have. And then Brad, do you want to share a little bit about what you're going to do with these questions 1 and 2?
First off, I just want to say this is amazing. I'm going to reference some of the things in the chat first here real quick. Amazing job. And so, yeah, 10 minutes we'll have organized, but I'm going to answer some of the questions in here that people had over this time. And if you have questions while you're organizing, go ahead and pop off mute and ask questions live on this call. It's totally good to go. We're going to get hands-on organized, or ask it in the chat. But a few questions we had in the chat here were like, what's the order of all those documents, Danae? So I think because we're all doing the same thing, they just might look slightly, we might have our own variation of it. Is what I think they're talking about the documents in here is on the front of your binder right here when you open up. So the first thing is what Danae was saying, which was the tip that I gave her, which has always been helpful for me, is I put all my clients that are, once they place their order, once I place their order for them, I put them on their very top. So when I open up my binder, that's what I see. I never feel like I'm going to forget anyone because that client is on top of my binder. And then behind that, I have the invite and the how to share document. Then I don't have them in there because I'm about to put them all in, but I have health assessments. Any document you use regularly is like basically right here. So tons of health assessments, coach explore, senior coach celebration, any documents. So you're like, oh, cool. My documents are just in the front of my binder. They're fresh. They're ready to go. That's part of getting organized. How when you're trying to, and you're going to take massive momentum or massive action this time of year, you want to be able to just grab and go, not have to go print and see if you run out of ink and do all this stuff. So basically, I think it's who asked that? Eni, I think you asked that. This doesn't matter. Just put all the documents you use. Like a suggestion is right here in the front. You can put them anywhere, but Danae puts them in the front so she knows if she needs to go grab a document, they're right there in the front of her binder. So does that make sense, Eni? Hopefully it does. So yeah, with that, let's put 10 minutes on the clock. If you have questions on how to organize, go about it. But one thing I can say is getting organized right now will make the difference. If you are ahead of the game or are fast on organizing, this is what I want you to do, because this will still be your next power hour time. Take out all of your health assessments on your clients that are in your buy-in currently, except for anyone that's maybe in the first 4 days, because you don't need to refresh with them. They're brand new. But if you get a head start on this stuff, take out all those client health assessments and separate them into 2 categories. One are your current clients that you know are doing well and just need it, and you're going to be able to dream with, refresh with, and cast a new vision for at the start of this year. And the other one are like maybe clients that you don't know where they at. Maybe they're a little bit unintegrated or haven't been active for the last little bit. That's what we're gonna get to next, but we're gonna put 10 minutes on the clock and we'll come back after that.
And Brad, I see a couple of other questions.
Oh yeah, what do we got? What do we got there?
Lynette's asking, do you follow up with clients who you know are not on program and have their foot off the gas pedal?
What do you do for that today? It's kind of an in-between. It's going to be, I would say it's going to depend on where they're at in the relationship. What do you do?
I do. So I still follow up with them, even if it's just a text message or sending them a voice memo or a quick little video. I do call a lot of them still. And I've had ones that I've called for 6 months reach back out to me and say, thank you for never giving up on me. I'm still here and I'm just struggling. And so being loving on them and not giving up. I let all of my clients know on my husband, I'm not going to give up on you. I'm never going to go away. You might get sick of me, but I believe in you. And a lot of times we need to believe in them until they can believe in themselves. And we never know what's going on. So I don't ever want to give up on someone.
I agree. The same way to look at it, if you're looking like, I like systems in the back of my mind, because the more I can just like be on autopilot, not as far as my relationship, but like in my brain, I can take more action. If I haven't heard from them in a while, I'm going to see it when I'm checking in with them. I'm going to realize that we haven't talked in a while. They might not be, in communication with me. I usually have like it's not you, it's me, kind of break up conversation where I'm going to be like, hey, I haven't heard from you, in the last little bit. You probably are doing great. But I don't want to, like, if this is not a good time right now, one, we can always refresh. There's different plans we can look at. Like I'm always here for you, but I'm going to go into checking back with you regularly. You let me know if there's anything that I can do for you. And I'm always here if you're ready. Like Because if you haven't heard from them, they've been incommunicado for a while. Like, kind of, I mean, there are a few scenarios where they're just doing good and they're just too busy. I always just assume the best.
Yes.
But I'm just going to put them in my back in that my future clients folder, this one right here, because they're still going to get a touch from me every Friday if I'm hitting my follow-up Friday. So it's just a different kind of touch. Like, how are you doing? Like, where, like, that way you can go back to it on that. That's my system on it, so that my binder remains of active clients. But I have a tip for you guys here in a little bit, and my encouragement is going to be is level up on what you're going to look for in clients this year. But that's where I come on the next break to do some work.
Yes.
Was there any questions in the chat?
Yeah, Sarah was asking, do you keep health assessments of new clients of your coaches? So where do you put those?
Ooh, good question.
I love that question.
What's that?
I love that question.
What do you do?
So when someone becomes a new coach, I have their Coach Explore form, and I put it into a binder, and they get I have a separate binder that has tabs in it, and each coach gets a tab. And so I put their Coach Explore in there, and then I keep all of the health assessments that I'm a part of in there. I also put in there if they've done a really big post, especially in the beginning, and I'm trying to help them with monitoring that post. And so I start a 100s list for them when they are new and fresh in that, and just trying to help them to keep a pulse on it. And so I start a 100s list, and I also put that in there. That way it's just a constant reminder for me of if we ever need to go back to the drawing board, and I'm like, oh my gosh, remember Susie? She had reached out to you a year ago. How's the conversations? Have you talked to her since then? So that's what I have, is separate binders for those coaches.
That's a good one. So you keep that.
That way it's organized for me. Otherwise, right now, people are crazy running, which is great. So I have those kind of right now. I need to get better organized in that.
That's really good. So I'm reading the chat here. One, Lindsay says, dang, today, she's going to level up to do you. I'm honestly going to do the same. Like, I've kind of kept a rough idea, but it's been roughly held together. I'm going to do a binder with tabs. That's going to be my next organization thing. I'm trying to make sure here. How do you handle some? Oh, we'll get back to that. What about those who will not reach back? Lisa Rodriguez, that's what we're going to get to today, is we're going to get into massive action. You're looking for people that are looking for you. And that's what I'm going to encourage you. So we'll preview on what I'm going to get to next. I want you guys to level up on what you expect from people, and not like that they need to rise to your standards, but you're going to set a new standard for what you're looking for. It's like if you buy a new car or a new, I don't know, something, and then all of a sudden it's everywhere. Once you realize what you're looking for, you'll find more of it. And if you've been consistent and you've done the work, it's easy to do that. I see a bunch of questions in here about, like, how do you handle someone that quit because of this? Let them go. Like, when, people will come to you when you are like, my favorite scenario is when once in a while someone will be like, oh man, this food tastes so horrible. How do you do this? And it's like, don't you know that I live and breathe this program? It helped me lose 30 pounds. I love it. I mean, you realize you're saying something to me about something that loves it. They're the weirdo. Why are you pandering to the weirdos? Just love on them and move into the people that want this. Like, if you're, that's my, I'll get more to that later, but I'm going to encourage you guys to level up. Great. Let me know when you're ready. I'm happy to help you, like, look at some different options, but if not, just let them know that you're there to help them if they want to be helped, and move on. Move on to more people. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't, like Dr. Reagan says to us all the time, they ain't coming. They want to be miserable. Go out there and shine a light so bright and help so many people that they change their mind on what's possible. That's my quick tip on that. Danae, any feedback on that?
I think that's great. And that's one of the things that I had to really learn from you and Denise is let them go. We are not here. It's like that analogy, that picture that Dan Valentine showed at Intentionality Summit a couple months ago was, it's like a dog just laying on the sidewalk and we're just dragging that leash. Like, oh, yeah. Drop the leash. If they want to walk back up, I'll pick up that leash. But I am not going to drag them in this. And it's not a wagon. I'm not dragging you on this. This is not that type of, this is a journey. You're in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat. I've called that out now too on health assessments. I tell them there's no wagon to fall off of because I'm so sick of that phrase. Yes. We are in a car. We're on a journey together. You're driving. And if you choose to take your foot off the gas pedal, that's fine. But I am never getting out of this car.
Yep. I love what Sarah said in the chat. You can't want it more for your clients than you want it for themselves. Most of the time they come back anyways, and they come back ready.
So great, Sarah.
I had one client, it was a big victory this last year. they had done program before, they lost 40 pounds and they, you know, disappeared on me. Like that happens to some people. It kind of petered out. Life can happen. I stayed consistent. Guess who, you know, this was years ago. They came back, they lost 100 pounds this year. It's incredible.
Oh,
and they were so integrated. And I just kept moving forward. I was ready. They were part of my follow-up. I treated them like a pre-client. It was just like a pre-client. Anyways, we have 5 more minutes to just get organized. Let's just keep doing that. My knife idea didn't really work well in my binder, and I kind of cut one down this side. So I'm going to go get some scissors real quick. Danae, will you watch the chat and see if there's anything else in there?
I will, for sure. Any other questions, feel free to come up to you or pop those into the chat.
Hey, Danae.
Yes.
So good, first of all. So good. I do have a question about, I'm always trying to, you know, make my systems a little bit more efficient. I love the organization with the binder. But my question for you is on your weekly check-in calls with your clients. You know, these binders start to get really thick when you have a lot of clients and you have the stapled, and it stops at week 12 with the boxes of check-ins. So I would love to hear what you do on your weekly check-ins with your clients and how you keep tabs of like what's going on in their life and how do you reference it when you go back and all that good stuff.
So I divide the boxes so that way I write smaller. I honestly I just write the date and I write really small. I don't necessarily go week by week. That way I give myself more space because I found that in the beginning. And Lindsay, you remember those old health assessments we had? They just had little lines all over the back. It was like a Excel spreadsheet that someone just threw up there. But it helped because it was a lot smaller. So I struggle with that too. So ones that I have filled out all of those boxes, I'll just grab a regular sheet of old college ruled paper and I shove that puppy in there. I write their name at the top of it and I just keep stapling to it because their journeys they're a lot longer than 12 weeks, which is beautiful. Or I'll just grab another one of those papers if you're kind of like type A and you need the same thing with it. Just grab another one of those. You can print them out. They're part of that soft copy. You can print those out and then just cross out week 12 and write week 13, week 14, week 15, and just keep going. I like the date because that way I can kind of go back, which is one of the things I learned from Dawn, like go back, celebrate what they've done over this last year. So if that makes it easier for you to write the dates in there of the dates that you've actually called, and I do a lot of what kind of like parting, like a nurse, like I left a message, I'll just write LM so that it's short, or I saw that they posted that they achieved that non-scale victory or that within there. So does that help you, Lindsay?
Yeah, no, that's really, really good. And maybe training for another time could be like some of those questions that she's asking and what she is writing down. Maybe not today, but that would be a really good thing to kind of hear the questions that you're asking those clients check in after week 12. Like, what are we talking about? Because we're not talking about eating 5 fuelings anymore, right? So I think that would be something really, really great.
That'd be great. Yeah, the mental and emotional questions we get to ask, the big, deep, ultimate life ones. Yeah, great. Yeah.
Thanks, Danae. Really good stuff.
Oh, thanks, Lindsay.
Danae, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm getting the whole, okay, I got a lot of binders here. I got the Optavia binder, and then I have my follow-up Friday binder, and then I have my prior client binder. So is that too many? Should I integrate the future client with the prior client?
It just depends on how much it's growing for you and the size of your binder. Like it could be a 3-inch binder and you could have everything in one. So it just really depends on, I think that point was feasible for you. Brad, what would you say?
Yeah, I was gonna pop in on that one. You know, honestly, it's all if the rocks are the same. We're showing you the systems. You get to kind of do your own variation because it's not different. It's just your variation. I personally find that like the variables I have, the better I do. So I mean, really, a pre-client that I've done a health assessment is no different than someone that was on plan that I know their goals and has fallen off. So I just put them separated in one binder personally. But if that's working for you, great. Like it's you know 12 or 1 dozen or whatever the saying is, like it's the same thing. You know, whatever works better for you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good question.
Suze was asking, what was the doc on sharing the optimal health program?
Who asked that?
Suze?
Oh, so this is actually a good one because I meant to kind of talk about this if I got a chance. Is if you are a newer coach since the Optavia kit came out, you got something like this with all of your health assessments. It says, I'm going to come off share real quick. And so it looks like this. So it says, it's the guidelines for a share, like the 4 components. So it kind of outlines what a share looks like. And then it has a document for the invitation. And then it also on the back has a list of all of our different programs to reference. So just it's right there. This is definitely something we use for new coaches, but it's always great to reference. That's why it's in the front of my binder. If you got your kit recently, it's in there. And so I just bought a new binder in case you're wondering, Brad, why are you cutting your spine? I got a new binder. Mine was so worn out. I'm starting fresh this year. 2019 is going to be a fresh year. So I have that same thing that came in my binder. If you don't, you can just go into Simple Systems, and it's actually at the very top under the Health Assessment tab. You can print this out. In my previous binder, I just printed out those sheets and I put it in in one of those paper tab things. Like that, Danae, that's how yours is, right?
Yeah, and just for those of you who don't know what Simple Systems is, if you're not a senior coach quite yet, that's coming, I'm sure, this month for you. Reach out to your business mentor, but that's where these documents are. We'll have copies of everything. And like Brad was saying, he went in and he got a new binder, in which you can grab under when you log in. It'll give you the opportunity under the shop tab once you log in. Coaching resources way over on the left, and so you can also purchase documents again if that's what you so choose. If you want a new binder and you need new folders because you're like Brad and you hacked at it with a knife, you can do that too. Debbie was asking, what kind of message do you leave with potential client week after week?
Good question. Actually, there's a training from our last Cough and Consistency where Karen Tiros really broke down how great she does that. But in short, just wherever the relationship's at. If I like to be bold, if you want someone to get healthy, there's nothing wrong with stating your intention. So, if you're following up, feel free to be bold, but sometimes just feel out the relationship. Do they just need a touch? Is it sometimes oh, hey, Lindsay, I love your glasses that I saw. Oh, I love the way you updated your office. Just a touch is just the most important thing. We're into massive touches. We're into people that are looking for us because there's so many out there. And when people are ready, you want them to be thinking about you and the relationship that you've made with them. So I don't know, Danae, anything else you'd put on that? It really is situational.
It is very situational, Brad. I completely agree. Sometimes if I've been looking in our Stories of Transformation page and I see something that really reminds me of that person, I'll share that story with them and send them a message and say, oh my gosh, Jan, this reminded me of you. And so I just wanted to share. I can't wait to see what's going to be possible as you begin your journey this year.
Got it. All right, guys, that is over 10 minutes. So there'll be plenty of time to finish this up later. We'll actually have bonus time after this call for anyone that wants to stay on. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next stage of this. So I think pretty much almost everyone's probably done. I had to run and get scissors, so I'm pretty much done. Actually, can I get a 1 in the chat if you are all updated and your binders organized? Danae, of course yours is. Almost 0. And you know what? You can we're just going to lay out the steps. If you want to continue organizing on these next steps, feel free to do so. It's just, we're going to go into the next steps of organizing, which is, and how to get into action on this new year. So keep organizing. And I love the question. It's so helpful here. But this is going to be the exercise action. So here's what I want you to do as you're organizing. Take out all of your health assessments, except for the people that are in their first week, because you're not going to need to refresh with them. They're new. They have their goals. And congratulations for sharing health so boldly that people aren't waiting for the new year to get started. But I want you to separate this list because basically I'm going to get the premise behind this. I love giving the why because I ask why all the time. Every year we do this because people are like, how do you get organized? I feel kind of out of touch with people. They feel discombobulated, so they don't know where to jump in. And I love this time of year because it's a fresh start with everything. Completely fresh start. So I would encourage you to take all of your clients out and put them in these 2 categories. I already went over it before, but the ones that are doing well, maybe the ones that you made a plan with how the new year was going to go, or you're supporting well. And either way it goes, I want you to make a stack of those clients. Those are obviously your clients. They're going to be on your map going forward. They're doing great, but you get a chance to refresh with them as they start this year. And we're going to message these people. This is what I do at the start of the year. Hey, I'm just going to check in with them on my next check-in day. So I'm going to message them today and over the next few days, and all these people that we're about to share with you, and be like, hey, I'm so excited for 2019. Like, I'm going to celebrate some wins. I'm going to go back and look at where they were when they started. I'm going to point out those wins. Most people are horrible at reading their own press, just as a heads up. I'm going to point out those wins. I'm going to maybe dialogue with them about what's the best. I'm going to ask them what's the next goal this year. I love setting next level goals because these goals will probably be something that they couldn't comprehend when they start. I'm just going to say, I'm going to call you on Tuesday, which is my check-in day. Actually, not going to be this Tuesday because actually, yeah, it will be this. Wait. Tuesday, New Year's, or Monday, New Year's? Monday's New Year's? Okay. Either way, I'm going to look at that calendar. What's that?
Tuesday is the 1st. Monday is the 31st.
Oh, then I'm calling him on the 1st. Perfect. Everyone who has a Tuesday or check-in day, rock on. It's like the perfect schedule. I'm going to let them know that so that they know the call's coming. I could probably dialogue via text with them, some other stuff, but I'm going to let them know the call's coming. They know the call's coming, and we're going to refresh together. So I'm just going to send those text messages real quick. Those will be easy. Here's where what I want you guys or encourage you to do with the other ones. For all of your clients that you aren't sure where they are, put them in another stack where you don't know where they are. Maybe they're not engaged, or maybe you are still kind of checking in with them, but you need to level up your clients. Like, you're going to break up with unintegrated clients, ones that you feel like you're dragging, ones like you're going to like, because here's my way of thinking, and forgive my mindset sometimes, I'm a little bit bold. One, can you continue another year in that relationship? No, it's going to crush your mind. Most importantly, or I don't know which one is most important. Is it going to help them be successful long-term to continue the relationship the way it is? No, it is not. So you either need to find out where they are and re-invite them, or put them in the category that you're going to refresh with them, and you're going to get them on a fresh startup integration. So it's 2 stacks. It's people that are rock and roll and you're going to go dive in with, and it's the people that you're going to re-invite. Because I want you guys, if you've been consistent this last year, every year is a year to level up. It's a year to level up in what you expect in your business. It's a year to level up in your coaching ability and what you pour in, a level up in your organization, level up in the growth, level up in income potential. But mostly, I mean, and I guess just as importantly as all those, level up with how you integrate and what your client base looks like. I, one year, had so many clients that I was dragging that Terry was like, you are not enjoying coaching your clients, my coach. And I was like, oh, I was super proud of my 20,000 frontline volume, but I wasn't enjoying it. She's like, fire those people that aren't bringing you joy. Because honestly, it wasn't bringing me joy. They weren't good coach candidates. And it was taking a lot of time to not find the people I wanted. I gave them all an invitation to come join me, and some did, and it worked out a lot better for them, and some didn't. And then some came back later because I set that clear expectation with them. So those are the 2 categories. And put that list with your pre-clients, because basically you're going to message all of your pre-clients, all of your past clients, and all of your clients from that second pile. Does that all make sense? Can I get a 2 in the chat if that all makes sense? Danae, do I have questions in there?
You do. So Lindsay asked a great question. Brad, what does that breakup conversation look like?
Gosh, putting me on the spot, Lindsay. Jeez. It's different every time, but honestly, I try not to have no one likes a hard conversation. So, I just and Lindsay, I'm just going to call on you to say this after I share my thoughts on it. But if I had someone, and I'm actually thinking of someone in mind right now, and I just don't want to engage in the same kind of relationship I had. I know they're going to kind of want help, and I know they kind of put all their health journey on me and how well they do. They haven't taken ownership of it. I'm probably going to reach out, and they're not currently ordering right now, but I know they're thinking about it. I'm going to reach out and be like, hey, I'm touching base. I cleared my schedule for the next week. I'm connecting with everyone that wants to paint a new picture for this year, really helping people. I'm for me, I'm boiling down the amount of people I'm helping to really help them be successful. Connecting with them this week. If you'd like to connect, I'm touching base with people to help set them up for success for this new year and what it's going to look like to help them be successful. If it's personally messaging them, I might put something a little bit personal in there. I know you've overcome a lot with your father's death this year. And if you're ready, I'm ready to help you get into the groove and help you get to that goal you want. And when we get into that group, I'm going to set my boundaries, kind of take some finesse, but I'm going to kind of make it clear that we're not going into our old ways of thinking, old ways of complaining and not taking ownership of it. But I'm going to save that for how I'm working with it. Lindsay, what do you do?
So that's, the reason I asked clarification on that, because sometimes, and I was in this too, as you know, where I was chasing people and I was wanting, like Sarah said, their health journeys more than they were. So I love what you said about giving them the opportunity to schedule some time with you to really go over it. And then at that point, that's on them. If they don't answer or they don't schedule that call with you, I think that is our response, that they just aren't, ready right now for that health journey. And so instead of chasing them, when we can let go of those people just in this season, I think that it opens up, our minds and our hearts to really dive in with those people. One time, Dan Valentine had said something, we spend more time chasing the clients that don't want it than we do spending the times with those that are integrated and all in and maybe ready for coaching. So I love your approach, Brad, in just giving them those expectations and then seeing where they take it.
Yeah. And I know this might blow some of your minds. It took me a long time to get here. There's just some people I would flat out not reach out to. They're toxic, they're unhealthy. And that's part of creating a healthy lifestyle, is that you have the boundaries to say no to the people that want to damage you and don't mind bringing other people down with them. Unless you're healthy enough to not let it bug you. But I had to fire some clients this year that didn't even get a reach out. They don't want to change. They want to be unhealthy. And honestly, the best way I'm going to make an impact in their world is to go get so many healthy people healthy around them that they change their entire context. They're not even getting a reach out from me. I respect my time and my ability of how many people I can help, not to go into that damaging relationship. I want you guys to know that's okay. There's maybe 1 or 2 people a year that fall into that category. So it's not like if all of your clients end up in that pile, then you're probably looking at them wrong.
Brad, Beth asked, do you apply this to coaches too?
Yes, absolutely. And we didn't actually start the 10-minute work time. So we're just starting now. Feel free to start doing this. And we'll just keep answering questions. So 10 minutes on the clock, and we're going to go a little bit after. This is work time session, so stay as long or as little as you want. I love talking to people that are like hungry and show up for the volunteer hours. Oh, it makes me excited. So yeah, start organizing this, and I'll get to that question. But the last one before I get back to that question is number 3. Guys, the best partners in your business, and you guys all have some pretty amazing partners, so I say this boldly, haven't even been sponsored in your business yet. Your best clients, your best coach candidates. And this is the time of year that anything's possible. I want you to also take 5 of your Coach Explore forms, and I want you to write down 5 people that are getting an invitation to explore coaching with by this time. And because you're on this call, no one else gets this. I'll do a double matching $25 scholarship for them to get started now. Because that's nothing, it's nothing, but it's a reason for them to start now as opposed to start later. Because that training we do on the 19th is going to help people build to executive director, but you must be senior coach or above to participate in that training. So we want to give them enough time. So 5 people that you boldly are going to make sure you explore coaching with. Because I guarantee you guys have 5 people that you need to make that invitation to. So those are the 3 categories to do right now. And then Dawn's going to wrap us up with an action challenge to do over the next 3 weeks. And so 10 minutes on the clock, and I will get back to answering that question. April, my experience, the coach is not following. Okay, so what was the question, Danae?
Helps if I unmute. So the question was, how do you apply that to coaches?
This took a lot of time for me. For those that have heard Ashley call me out, I'm a recovering, care too much for people person. Is just ask yourself, are they doing the work? Have you given them every opportunity? Like, I think about it like this. You guys all knew where to be today. You guys knew what to do. You guys take personal responsibility. And I just try to have clear, loving communication with people. So sometimes that looks like just not giving a reach out. That's okay. They know, they're all on the page. They know what it is. And it takes a pretty long time for me to just realize like this person is just not going to do the work. That doesn't mean I love on them any less, or it doesn't mean that I'm not supporting them on their health journey anymore. But as far as like maybe unhealthy relationships with clients or coaches, just set clear boundaries. Like you can give them a refresh too. Like that's another great thing. Like That's what I also love about this time of year is any coach can do anything. I love to say Nicole Rodriguez's story because 2 years ago she was barely a senior coach after falling back from ED, integrated national this year. Anything's possible. So give them an invitation, just like your clients. You could say, if one, you can dive in with anyone to create what's possible, or help someone who's in massive momentum, or for that person you want to redefine that relationship with, hey, I'd love to work with you this year if you're ready to work on this. And then through that conversation, you have the same finesse of what it's going to look like and set those boundaries finesse wise. You can let them know that, like, if they're putting all the stuff on you, like, hey, I really want to help you succeed, but it's going to look like you taking more responsibility. I can't sign up your clients for you. I can't stay consistent for you. Or the last category is just don't reach out to them if it's extremely unhealthy. But that's probably going to be very few people. If they made it past the coach explore process, I doubt very many people will fall into that category. Is that helpful? Did anything you'd add?
No, I think that's great. And, hurt people. So being very mindful and prayerful about, seeing through the hurt of the words, and do have those healthy boundaries, but really have that opportunity about leveling up and living above the line. I mean, as coaches, when we commit to this, we commit to those habits of effective leadership. And so looking at that component too, and maybe it's an opportunity to help them grow in that. Brad, Joanne asked about clients that are doing partial orders.
I mean, I was going to encourage most of you guys, like, on these questions. Not that this particular one is just like use your own common sense, trust your gut. Like, if they're doing half orders, is it because they need a half order? Like, are they in maintenance? Like, is that where they're at? If they're not and they have goals, go ask them, hey, what are your goals? Like, feel free to be like, hey, I just want to make sure you're doing okay. Like, I noticed some of your orders are a little bit lower. Like, just say it in a helpful way, because no one likes to run out of fuelings. Talk to them about that. And I just let people do them. After I've given clear direction, I let people do them. They're telling me what they want to do if I've given clear direction. If I tell people, so when I move people out of folder 1 after I know they're integrated, I know I have a relationship with them, and they've updated their first premier order. After I teach them that it's 22 boxes, and if I see that order come in at 150, I'm either going to think, oh, do they have life situations going on? Maybe I'll find out in my future conversations. But I told them what to do. I'm not going to chase them down to make sure their order's full. I might mention, like, hey, I noticed your order was a little bit small. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to do it more than that one time. If I gave them the direction, I'm going to let them do them. Everything always rises to the top. Eventually, they're not going to be doing well. Eventually, there's going to be a miss, and that's my opportunity to share full integration with them. You're looking for people that are looking for you. You just lay it out, and you work with the people that want to do it. We spend too much time chasing the people, trying to fix problems instead of, doing massive action, looking for the people like us.
Yes.
That's where I'm actually going to bring Dawn up for a few minutes. Someone asked, how good is that offer for? Till the end of the 1st. So not just the end of the month. So, like, we can all do some follow-up on New Year's Day. It's good till the end of the 1st. Dawn, would you come off, because I know you're in massive momentum on this, and you actually have a crew of people that have been already doing all this stuff. Would you give us some examples? Because we're going to encourage everyone to reach out to these people. Like, by the end of the weekend, reach out to all these people. What are some messages you would send to these 2 categories, the first 2 categories? Would you give an example of that, of what you're doing or what some of the people on your team are doing?
Yeah, awesome. And actually, so what does a reach out look like into each category and things like that? And one thing that I have to say is just, guys, completely be really authentic to you. I mean, that's where it starts most. And there's sometimes, like, we've talked about clients who maybe aren't calling you back or aren't connecting with you. And also sometimes, what if you've gotten out of your groove? I mean, just blink if that's ever happened. Anyone ever have life come up, or the holidays, and maybe you haven't connected with your clients? So actually, I'm going to have Kaylee, and then I'm going to have Amber come off and share a couple things. We've been doing some power hours, which we'll talk about a little bit later, Brad, but we've been hopping on and really spending some quality time in connection in these areas. And people are doing it in different ways. Some are sending texts, some are doing voice texts, some are doing videos. Kaylee, I would love for you to pop off and share just an example, because, guys, we could put verbiage up here, we could write it down, but the thing is, it has to come authentically from you. I think it would be great just to have some people share verbally. Would that be helpful for you guys? I'm seeing lots of heads nodding. Okay. Kaylee, will you come off and share a little bit about what you're doing? Because you are doing some massive action, girl, and you are, like, diving in and sending messages. You're doing a little bit of all of these things, but will you share kind of like an example of what it looks like?
Yeah, and I don't know if that's my service on my end. I hope, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, Dawn's out in the woods again, so her service is a little bit out. So just go for it. You can do this from anywhere, even in places that don't have internet.
Exactly. Yes. Well, I just want to, yeah, I've been having so much fun over the last few weeks and just really getting after it with my current clients and potential clients. And like Brad, you were mentioning, it's really subjective in what your relationship looks like with everybody. And it looks a little bit different in how you touch on them and reach out to them. But in regards to my current clients, it has been like a recheck of like, how am I supporting them? And I really want to go into 2019 just as fresh as they want to move in with their goals. And so I'm really working on being super intentional about setting them up for success, reaching out to them saying, hey, I want to set some time aside for you. I care about you and your goals. Look how far you've come in 2018. Let's have a conversation about what things can look like for you in 2019. And so for some of us who might be some newer coaches and starting to learn about like the different systems and learning how to really truly layer, this is such a great opportunity for you guys thinking about those people that you do love working with, that you are having fun with, to reach out to them and start to really think about what 2019 can look for them other than eating those 5 fuelings and their 1 lean and green. So starting to really set your mind up well of like, if these are people you want on your heart long-term and want to partner with them long-term, start layering. This is such a great opportunity to start sharing like, hey, I see so much potential in you. I'm so excited for you and how you're already building up this community around you. People know what you're doing. Just connect with your support team, guys. But this is a really beautiful time where people want fresh opportunities as well. And so start really layering with them what that can look like in 2019 beyond the 5 and 1. And so that's where I'm really taking my time when I check in with them. On their goals for 2019 is starting to bring that up of what that can look like in those areas. But aside from that, like that's where I'm really focusing on with my current clients. But then potential clients, I've been having a lot of fun too, and current clients of doing video messages with those goofy little filters and just saying, hey, what's up? If you'd like to connect in 2019, I would love to connect with you, make some time for you. I know that you had these goals back here in April. I'm just wanting to check in and see how things are going. If you're not there yet, girl, that's okay. I would love to take some time to just recheck in and see how I can help, whatever that looks like. So those are some things I've been doing, but just really reconnecting and getting back into their. That's pretty much it.
Gotcha. What's like one example of one thing you would write to someone that's a current client that you're going to refresh with? Like you send the video or you send a message or you're just calling them, or like what would be like a message? Because I'm sure some people are going to be sending those messages or doing those videos. What do you say to them?
To current clients?
Yeah, we'll do current clients. And then I think, Dawn, you had an example for like clients that are pre-clients or past clients. So yeah, do the first one first if you can.
Yeah, I've been reaching out to them. A lot of them, it's been a video or a voice text just because that feels a little bit like an layer of being authentic. They can hear my words and hear my heart. But yeah, just saying, hey girl, you've been on my heart. I hope you had an awesome Christmas. I'm excited to really hear what's been going well for you in 2018. I want to celebrate that with you. I'm also looking to create some time aside for you so we can talk about how you can really move forward with your next goals in 2019. I would love to do that. Would you like to do that with me?
Love it. Easy enough, everybody? You like that?
Yep. And Kaylee's been doing a lot of little videos, and so it's a little different for each person that she sends them to, right? But once you get into your groove, guys, once you send 3 or 4 of those, it's like you can send 10 or 15 or 20 in like a half-hour time or an hour. So it's kind of neat. You just get into your zone and do it. So we were all having a blast the other day, all of us with our little phones flipped around and different filters on, and it's kind of fun. Kaylee, if you wouldn't mind, if you have something that you'd like your client, if you would copy and paste it in the chat, that might be helpful. I know we have some visual people on the call, and guys, it's totally fine. If you're a visual person and you need the actual verbiage written down, that's okay. Just make sure to always change it and make sure it's you. Like change it pretty significantly so that it's in your authentic voice. So thanks, Kaylee, for sending that, and then or for sharing that. And then not exactly sure where people are, or maybe people aren't exactly sure where you're at because life's hard, whatever. Like, hey, let's just call it how it is. I've been reaching out to people and sending voice texts, and I'm going to have Amber share because she actually, you know what, guys, had some life happen and had to kind of dive back in where there were some clients that she hadn't been in consistent communication with. So one of my examples for that is, you know, hey, Jan, how are you? I know it's been a little bit since we've connected. I would love to catch up and hear how you're doing. And I would love to help you set some goals as we head into the next year. Are you up for that? I've got some time on Sunday. Just let me know what works for you, but between 2 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And then I give them a time. So I give them a solid invitation. I let them know it's been a little bit, like I'm acknowledging that maybe we haven't connected and that I need to get caught back up. And I give them the opportunity. Sometimes I hear back from them because they're ready. Sometimes I don't hear from them because they're not ready, but I'm going to put them in my pre-client folder moving forward into 2019. So, but at least I cover everything. So that's how I do that. Amber, can you quickly share just a little bit about what you, because the other day she sent me, she was like, you know what, I feel like it was just time, this needed to happen. And it was really great because she got to connect with all her clients and she heard back from almost all of them.
Hi guys, good morning. Thanks for letting me share. So what I am sharing this morning is probably a little bit out of the ordinary. In my 4 years of coaching, this is the first time I've done something like this, but I wanted to be totally transparent with you guys around the topic of just being authentic. We talk about that so much, but what does that actually look like? And it's the idea that there's so much effort that goes into projecting perfection. And sometimes we feel like we have to be perfect so that we show up for our clients in a way that's, you know, I guess what they expect of us, but also, you know, for ourselves, you know, we kind of hold ourselves to a really high standard sometimes, and that's good. So what I did that is a little crazy is I actually recorded a voice text and I sent it out to most all of my clients, but more specifically the clients on the number 2 on this list, the folks that aren't necessarily engaging. I haven't heard from them. Maybe they hadn't heard from me, because like when Dawn talks about life happening, it doesn't mean that like some crazy catastrophic thing happened in your life. Like sometimes you just miss people for a couple weeks and you realize it and you feel bad about it. So my voice text was actually an apology. What I sent out was something like this. And if you guys want to hear it later, you can message me. I'm not going to play it right now, but I just said, you know, hey, I want to reach out to you and let you know that I'm sorry. When we started this relationship with me as your health coach, I promised you I would be there for you. And I recognize that there might be times where you might have felt like I wasn't. And I want you to know that you matter to me and that your goals and your dreams matter to me, and that this journey that we're on together is so much more than just a number on a scale. So I would love an opportunity to connect with you and really talk about what's important to you in your life again. And that's it. And the amazing thing is the clients that weren't engaged, what it created was it created a sense of ownership for them. So like in an ideal world, we would all love that when our clients, you know, are entering into a journey with us, that like they would be so excited about their journey that they would contact us every week and be like, oh my gosh. And we've all had those clients that are like hyped and excited and it's fun and like, right? That's like an ideal world. But the thing is life doesn't just happen to us, it happens to them too. And then when they don't call us back or they don't text us back or whatever, they feel guilty. And so then they're like, oh, I didn't message her back. She's going to be upset with me, or she's going to think that I, you know, lost my mind or I went off the wagon. Like there's no wagon, right, Danae? So, you know, it's just, anyway, it kind of diffuses that guilt part of the relationship, both for you and for your client, and gives both of you an opportunity to just show up. So I know it's crazy and weird, but you guys, it's been amazing and it's deepened my relationships with my clients in such a real way. So that's it. That's what I got for you.
Thank you, Amber. I love that. How much time do we have on it?
Hold on a second. I'm going to mute you, Don. You lost your internet out in the woods. The wind must have shifted. That's fantastic, Amber. I love that. And I've done that too. And honestly, it's just taking more ownership. Maybe sometimes it's real. You got to take ownership, and people will just be real if you're real. I love that Lynette put that in the chat. And sometimes I'm just taking ownership, even though it's mostly been them. I'll be like, hey, sorry, I've dropped the ball on connecting with you the last little bit. It gives them the safe place to be like, oh, because everyone's been that person where you've dropped the ball. It sucks. And you don't want to reach back out because it's like, so make it easy for them to connect with them. So clients that you aren't sure where they're at, give them a message that you want to refresh with them. I love that in Amber. So awesome what you shared. And then the last one is just reach out to those coaches right now. So let's wrap up with this. This has been helpful for you guys today. Like, our goal is to get organized and take action. I know you guys got big dreams this year, and hopefully you guys are thinking bigger. It's super easy this time of year. See a lot of hearts. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. All right, so here's the last piece. I'm going to do it for Dawn since she lost her internet. Or are you back? Are you back, Dawn?
I don't know. Am
Yes.
I back?
No, you're not. Sorry.
Okay.
Try again later.
I'm not. Okay.
All right. So I will try to do my best to be as cool as this. But if you guys didn't see, I saw it posted in most health coach pages, is Dan Valentine's How to Start 50 Conversations in 1 Hour. And this will be my biggest encouragement and kind of the challenge that we're going to throw out. After you've got organized, after you reach out to your past and current clients, go into massive action on this. We're going to say for 3 weeks, will you guys commit to doing this? Let me say what it is. I'm going to ask you guys, actually, if you're in. I'm going to do it too. 3 Facebook posts. And I'm going to kind of go through that because a lot of people don't know what a full 3 and 3 and 3 is. And when I get to the last one, really, if you're going to do the last 3, I'm just going to encourage you that it's just as easy to do 3 as it is to do 10 on the message part. So I'm going to get more down to that here in a second. But 3 Facebook posts a day. Oh, and one thing before I even get in there is, remember, if you're doing something right now that's working for you, fantastic. More action is better than no action. You can't do it wrong. But these are things that, a lot of people, if you're really trying to pull out all the stops and want to be doing the most effective possible, this is the breakdown of it. And you can watch Dan Valentine's video because he's even better than explaining it. Whenever Dan speaks, I'm just like, yes, Dan, I want to do whatever it is you're talking about. It so makes sense. So, but this is what an actual 3, 3, and 3 looks like. So you guys can actually give it the full challenge. It's 3 Facebook posts a day. And this is and if you need an outline of it, do whatever. There's no wrong way to do it. But he kind of goes over a results post so people can see your results about yourself or others and different examples of helping closer to you, the better. A family or life post, about your kids, family, so people can understand your real life, see you. People want to see you. And then also a passion post, something you're passionate about so people can get to know you and what you're passionate about. These can be lives or posts, whichever work for you. Lives are great because it ups you in the newsfeed. Anyone ever notice that when you open up your Facebook on your phone, the first few are just lives because lives get promoted more in the live feed. So 3 Facebook posts a day, spread out throughout the day. Then 3 friend requests. And a lot of people, when they're first getting down to this, they're like, I don't want to request strangers. You shouldn't be friending strangers. These should be high quality relationships. People that either you're meeting out and about, especially during the holidays. I'm sure you guys all met tons of new people, or you meet people constantly, out in the world, or people that you should just be friends with. But as you kind of think back, you're like, wow, I didn't connect with that friend that I went to high school with. They're not my friend on my Facebook. Really just being focused on adding friends. And then when you actually do add a friend, the full thing is to go say hi, anything that you would see, if you actually saw them in person, and go and comment on their page. So you're actually investing in that Facebook friendship with them. So a lot of people just think if you add, then you're good, but it's the actual thing. Or some people count this as your messages a day. That's just what you do with a friend request. That's just the number one thing you would do to make sure that actually gets brought into your organs. If you just add them as a friend and you don't actually make the connection, they're not coming into your social media orbit. I see Danae nodding. So that was what an actual friend request looks like. And I challenge you guys all to do 3 or more a day. I guarantee there's people that you could be meeting or that you're not friends with. You don't even have to go to people you don't know. There's people in our world. Unless you've maxed out at 5,000 friends, there's probably people that you could be bringing in. And then the last one is the one that I'm going to challenge you guys all and say, if you're going to do 3, you might as well just do 10. Set aside, because this is true. And for those Amber, I know you've been doing this. You're it's just as easy to do 10 or more if you're doing 3. It's new conversations. And what this actually looks like is it's not commenting on people's page. It's not going and commenting on people that are on your list. It's bringing new people into your orbit. 10 new conversations a day, which means actually go into their page, liking probably 2 things and commenting on 1, Not any more than that. Don't go back in like a year. You'll just seem like a stalker, just so you know, like in case you were wondering. That's like Facebook taboo stuff. Like it's really weird when someone comments on a photo from like 5 years ago, right? You're like, how did you find, like Renee, your face right now is cracking me up. It's like, whoa, hello. So something recent. And then go send them a message. Something that you would say, and I love his, like Dan's example in the video, is anything you would say if you just saw them in person. Just be in conversation. People are looking for us right now. Like, just open up as many lines of communication, and then also let them come into your Facebook orbit so they see more of your stuff. I literally did a call yesterday with someone, and I can't make this stuff up. It was so awesome. He was like, I'm ready to take on my health. I've gained 25 pounds. I've 10 more ups from when I started this holiday. I feel gross. I'm a new dad. I don't like this. I just want to say, he's like, I want to say thank you for constantly posting and being consistent. Like, he literally said this. It was the weirdest thing. He goes, I may have not commented on anything, but you've given me hope, and now I'm ready to do this. And every time I was eating that extra bite of dessert after I told myself it was the last bite, I was thinking about you, and I'm ready to do this. It felt so, that's the reward you get when you're consistent with that. And if you do these conversations, you're just going to have that open platform for having those, like, for people to reach out. Just ask how they're doing, open up the door. Some people won't message you back. Just let it go. Be in massive action, and you're going to be able to find out as many people as you want. So that's a challenge. So if you guys are in for 3 weeks, that would be a total of almost 250 open conversations. Are you guys in for the next 3 weeks to do the 3, 3, and 10? Drop me a 1 in the chat if you guys are. Oh yeah, how their Christmas was. That's a great question to ask. It's so easy because you can ask about the new year or whatever. It's like the easiest time in the world. Okay. All right, that's the goal on how to do this. So basically, as we wrap up here today, here's how to really explode your new year. Is set an intention. I love, Danae, that you came back to what we talked about last year. So cool. Write that down. Spend a little bit extra time if you need some time. That'll be posted in the Facebook page after this. You got your binder organized. So make sure you have that time in your schedule. Like, so when I talked about, hey, when you check in with your clients this week, but you don't have a client check-in day, get this time set aside now. Make sure you have that pocket of 30 minutes to an hour built in each day to make time for your 3, 3, and 10. And just basically, you get to reach out to all your past, current clients, and potential clients. Like, I would encourage you guys to think about how big you want your year to start. It's open season right now. You can literally attract as many people as you want. It's so easy. And even if they don't all fall in this month, your February and March is usually what ramps up based on what you do now. You may hit full speed ahead this month, but you'll definitely see the full effect of it February and March. So my encouragement is dream big and do whatever you want to do this month. You can go as big as you want. I remember 2 years ago, we had no internet. We had our phone reception, but then it got boiled down to just what they do when you're past your data. We had no hot water, no heat. For 2 weeks, snowed in at our house. And we started like 12 new clients and ended up running like 18,000 frontline volume like that month. So it's as easy as you want. The people are out there. So you decide what you want. And here's the kind of like the New Year checklist. And then we'll have some more open question time as we kind of wish you guys well to go do more of your stuff. Hopefully I did okay on that, Dawn. You would have done it way better than I would have done it, but you need better internet. Here's the checklist for yourself right now. If you're like, okay, I'm ready to take on this new year, is number 1, truly, no, skip this step. Don't give me a nod on this. I care too much about you to just move forward. Really get on fire in your health. Don't go sell this program. And I know, don't beat me up about the word sell, is you sell this with what you truly believe. And you can't, if you are truly on fire in your health, it bleeds out to other people. That's the X factor. So start with yourself on this stuff. Get into something. If you're not already there, pick a day and choose that next level of your health that you're going after and share that boldly as you're sharing on social media and in the world. Get organized. Get your time in place. Get your reach out to current past clients and refresh with them. Start that 3, 3, and 10 challenge and just go after it. My encouragement to you guys is finish up this month strong, but I really care more about the next few months. It doesn't matter where you end up this month, but if you need to wrap up the cruise, if you need to wrap up a rank, use these last few days to do that. By the way, congrats to everyone that earned the cruise. Nice job, everybody. Decided to go on the trip with you. And for those that were really close and didn't, do this work right now. Buy your own vacation by the time you get to March. I missed our first 2 incentive trips, and I think we're doing okay. But if you do this action right now, you can choose your own vacation by the time March comes around, or pay to come join on the cruise with us. We'd love to have you there. You can totally do that. So finish up this month. But right now, the number one thing is do all of this stuff and get organized. Do your map for this month with a total refresh, and make sure to grab a few minutes with your support team if you're truly serious about growing this year. And make sure you have that done around the 1st. And basically, we're going to spend the next few weeks doing this action. We're going to have trainings We're going to have no training next week because for those that were at the Intentionality Summit, Helen's doing a workshop for us this time, Saturday morning. So heads up on that. We're going to have a training on the 12th. It's going to be more in depth on social media. We'll bring in more of this 3, 3, and 10. Amber's actually going to do an exercise for us that helps us. It was very helpful for me because I overthink my social media. It was really helpful to find out like what I want to speak to and find my voice in social media. Thank you for that, Amber. And we're going to also have some power hours to do these 3, 3, and 10s over the next little bit. So look for them in the page. And for those that were wondering what power hours are, we literally just get on and we actually just do work. And we do it together and we get way more done and we do it with a timer. So a few of you have logged on to some recent power hours and you were like, what's going on? Everyone's quiet. And then you leave you leave the room. So that's what a power hour looks like for all the new people. We will have a training series started on the 19th. So get ready for that and work with your team to get qualified for that. Senior coaches and above, and we're going to go over all the steps to build to either executive director if that's your next step, or big thinkers and sponsoring, working towards FIBC. Those are going to be the two main focuses of that training. So that is everything today, you guys. Was today helpful? Do you guys feel more organized? Like, give me a yes in the chat if you guys feel organized and ready to take off. I know I do. I say so. Today, anything you want to add in here today?
No, I'm just so blown away that all of you jumped on here, and I cannot wait until we're on this same call next year and we get to hear all the incredible things that you guys do in 2019.
Great. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to actually unshare my screen. This will be posted in there. And as a question, April, I saw you ask in the chat, that $25 scholarship is only good for the people that were on this call. It's a bonus feature. You guys got up. You guys are hungry. So it won't be posted anywhere. It's $25 max, so $50 total for any of those people you reach out to. Just message me when you have the person set up, and I will take care of it. Besides that, we'll stay on. If anyone would like to do some more workshop or ask some hands-on questions, I'm going to be reaching out to some of my clients right now. So we're going to do like a mini practice power hour. If you have questions, put them in the chat or come off mute. But we're going to do some more action right now. So that being said, have a great Saturday. For those that want to stay on and get into action, let's do it. It's going to be a great year, everyone. Hope you guys are dreaming big. More is possible than you can even comprehend. So I'm looking forward to another year together. All right, talk to you guys later.
Brad, Lisa Rodriguez is asking if the credit is for just new coaches or new clients as well. And
just new coaches. So it's for those 5 people you're selecting right now. Because if you guys are an executive director above, you have 5 potential coaches in there, or people that might not even be clients. This is your opportunity to reach out and invite them to get started now. And if they're not ready, plant that seed. They will be ready. So good question on there. Danae Lee is asking, how do you organize your maintenance folks?
Great question. So I still stay in connection with them. And Brad, this is kind of that paper that I took out of my binder.
Nothing written down at all for Dave Hinsman.
Hold on a second. I got to mute Jim.
Jim's always trying to talk.
Except my cursor is not working. Oh, there it is. Got it now. Oh, I think we're good. All right, go for it.
So, Brad.
Oops, sorry. I muted you.
That's okay. She's referencing that page that I took out of my binder. So how would you like me to answer this?
Just go for it. Tell them what you did on that one.
Okay. So what I do for that, Leah, is I actually print out all my clients and I keep a page of those. And so that way I can still continue to and check with them when they're on maintenance and if they're those partial orders, but I know they're still, this is a part of their health journey. So I still touch base with them. It may not be every single week because I'm usually in conversation because usually they become coaches by that week. So I'm already in continual conversation with them because they've become a coach and they've chosen that in their journey. So I'm usually in big, massive conversations with them on a regular basis. So, but I do have another page that I keep in my binder for those clients that are in those partial orders, or I'll write their name on the back of my map. I utilize the back of my map and I keep their names on there so that I still have them in conversation and I'm still making sure they're doing well, where, how are they wanting to take their health to the next level? Because our journey is never over. And especially as women, our health changes as we grow and as we age. And so seeing what is that, how's your mental health? How's your emotional health? Did you handle the holidays well? What is it that you're wanting to create next?
I think I may have heard of it.
Brad, what would you say?
Sorry, I got distracted. I was reading the chat, so I actually didn't hear everything you said there. Are you talking about what to do with the maintenance clients?
The maintenance, yes.
Okay, so here, as I said, great.
Okay.
Okay. I got your back, friend. So what I do with that is when someone hits, because guys, like think about when you coach clients, they inevitably take different breaks or vacations or different times. Like it's not usually a straight shot to their health. So I've usually already practiced with them a different plan or two. So when they get to maintenance, which I don't even really, I try to stay away from the word maintenance, not that it's a taboo word, but maintenance, there is no maintaining. Just like your business, your life, your health, there's no maintaining. You're either going backwards or forward. So I kind of just like help people move forward. Once they hit their goal, I know it's coming. I'm like, great, get ready. Like, here's a couple options for your next few plans. So I'm either helping them move into a 4-2 or a 3-3. And I'm going to coach them into that for the next little bit. I'm going to see how comfortable they are. Are they maintaining well? Are they finding that rhythm? I'm going to coach them probably into the next 4 weeks. And then I'm going to probably give them the heads up. Like, I mean, hopefully they're a coach by then. So I'm working with them on coaching, most likely. Like that's the game plan. That's the goal. But I'm going to basically coach them into that, make sure they're good, and then check back with them periodically. So I like having that list of people, and I'll pick one of my client days where I just check in to see how they're doing. But I've taught them how to be healthy. They're hopefully involved in the community. They're hopefully a pro. They own their health. I just check in to see, like, I'm treating them like an equal peer now. I'm no longer their health coach. They have taken on the 4 components and they know how to take care of their life. I'm no longer babying them. I have released them into the world to be a big grown adult, and I'm always here to support them. So if that's how, like, is that a good way of doing it? Like, or to explain it to Nate?
Yeah. And by that point, it's a reciprocal relationship.
Yes.
So they know that you're there, and it's like that. We're not dragging anyone. They know that we're here. They're adults. They know that it's a 2-way conversation. They can pick up the phone. They can call you. And so, yes, I don't call them every single week, but it's that second. How are things going? Looks like things are going well. I mean, we can tell on social media and their support threads, and they're naturally coaches. So hopefully that answers the question.
I think, Danae, we answered all of the questions. So there's nothing left to do except reach out, refresh with your current clients, reach out to all those past, pre, and everyone else. Start your 3, 3, and 10. And if you haven't, make sure you lay out your map. Your map could be whatever it wants to be this month. You've done the groundwork. The people are there. Literally, I'm going to encourage you to whatever you're doing, add more to it, because if you can visualize it, it's going to happen. So that's what I got for you.
There was one question, Brad, about where we keep our maps.
Ooh, sorry. I missed that one.
I missed it too. And so I keep mine right on top of my binder, or it gets folded up and thrown in my purse. So it's always a crease in it because it goes everywhere with me. I feel naked without my water, a fueling, or a map.
I put mine on top of my binder too. So my binder's to the right of my desk right here. And so my map's on top of it so I can look at it. So it's always in my face. My goals are always in my face. What you focus on, like what you feed will grow, what you starve will die. And I'm always trying to feed and look at my goals and my clients. Good question. Was there any other questions we missed?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right. So then finally up, reach out to those people, go into action on that. We'll start the 3-week challenge, and we'll have some power hours this week, probably like on Thursday or Friday, so we can keep going with this and have some more hands-on time with it. So with that being said, have a happy new year. If you have some things to wrap up, make sure to do that. But also on top of this stuff, make sure you fill out your map. If you're really hungry to grow, and basically I'm just throwing it out there, if you don't do this, it'll just be kind of weird, and your team will know how, where you're at. But make sure to put your map in your support thread and connect with your team, not your support team, not just on what you're going to do this month, but like what's actually possible over the next few months if you do this action right now, because it's totally like more than you can comprehend is possible. So with that being said, have a great day, everyone. I'm just going to continue doing work, but we'll end the session for today. Have fun reaching out to everyone. Fresh starts, new possibilities, more breakthroughs. Thanks, Danae. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Kaylee. And thanks, Amber. All great stuff. Talk to you guys later.
Guys.